today I'm here to bring you a very exciting video that I wanted to film for a long time now, and it's going to be my top 5 favorite books I have ever read. Now, keep in mind that this list was very hard to make. I've read a lot of great books so far, and I can tell you it wasn't easy to choose. But anyway, I have my 5 books here next to me, but before I start, I just wanted to talk about them in general. So those books have a special place in my heart because they've had an impact on me, and for some of them they've helped me through a lot of things. And I've learned so much by reading them about love, about the world, about life. They've kind of helped me to grow as a person, and I think it's the most wonderful thing that has ever happened to me. Books give you the opportunity to live 1,000 lives just through the pages of the story. It's kind of a learning experience, and it's just amazing. So, to sum up, books taught me almost everything. That's all I wanted to say, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Starting up with the first book, which shouldn't be a surprise at all. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Harry Potter. So here it is, the only book that blows my mind 40,000 times each time I read it. No need to tell you what it's about, I think you already know. And if you don't, well, I'm really concerned about you. Harry Potter is unique. It is rich, it is real, even though it takes place in a world full of magic, and there's a wonderful cast of characters. Every time I read it, I feel happy and at home, and I know I can't be disappointed. I feel myself like I'm still a child and I'm still growing at the same time as Harry. And it's amazing how J.K. Rowling brought this world to life years ago, and it's still here, it's still living through every generation. So yeah, it's definitely my favorite book, my favorite saga, my favorite everything. Next I have The Hell by Kathryn Stockett. So this is an historical fiction set in the early 60s in Jackson, Mississippi, and it's told from 3 different perspectives. So first there's Abilene Clark, a colored maid who cleans and takes care of white children. Next there's Minnie Jackson, Abilene's friend, who's also a maid. And then there's Kidder, a young journalist who wants to become a writer. And she has this idea of writing a book to reveal the truth about being colored in Mississippi. So she's going to ask Abilene and Minnie to help her. I really enjoyed this book even more than the movie. I found it really educating, and it considers a lot of things like racism, friendship, trust, and love, and it talks about history of America, and it does it in a way that is very enjoyable and interesting. Actually, it was pretty funny, and I laughed more than I cried, and I really felt attached to all the characters, even the bad ones. Honestly, I think we should all read this book before we die. Moving on to the next book that I recently discovered. It's a trilogy written by Mary Lou, and the first book is Legend. So this is a dystopian novel which takes place in a world where you have the Republic, which is on the West Coast, and the colonies, which is everything else. It's told from 2 different points of view. So there's June, who's a really smart girl, a prodigy as they say, and she's living with her brother a happy life. And one day something happens that ruins everything, and that makes her cross paths with Day. Day is the most wanted criminal of all time in the Republic. He's always on the run, he's poor, and he's the complete opposite of June. The fact that there were 2 perspectives really made the story interesting and living. I absolutely love the 2 characters, especially Day, and what really stood out to me was their weird relationship and their strong connection. I can't say much because basically I would tell you everything, but yeah, this book is really good. I couldn't put it down until the end. So next on the list is a fantasy that isn't very well known. I guess it's because it's written by a French author, and that is The Winter's Couple by Crystal Dubos. I'm really sorry for my bad translation, but the French title is right there. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, it's the first book of a series of 4, and they are all big like this. It's set in a world full of fleeting arches, so that's how an arc looks like. And we follow our main character, Ophélie, who lives on one of those arcs. She has a special power, so when she touches an object, she can see its past, and she's engaged to Thorn, a not very charming person, so she must leave her arc to marry him. She is going to discover a whole new world far from hers, where she must hide her identity, and she's going to become the center of a mortal plot. This book is freaking awesome, and let me tell you, it's not getting as much love as it deserves. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, the first 100 pages are extremely boring, but then it becomes fascinating. I completely fell in love with all the characters and the world, and the author does such a great job. I mean, I got the impression that I was in the story, that it was real. If you decide to read this book, you will not be bored, apart from the beginning, I mean, but it's worth it. The last book I have on my list is a romance by Tiffany Pitcock titled Just Friends, and holy crap, this book is so great. Once again, it's written from 2 different perspectives, so it follows Jenny. The little miss really likes having A's. She's kind of quiet and nice, and she doesn't like opening up to people. And then there's Chance, the typical bad boy and heartbreaker. So Jenny meets Chance for the very first time when she's assigned as his partner in their junior communications class, and after they rescue an assignment with one clever lie, the whole school is convinced that they've been best friends forever. So through it all, they hold on to the fact that they are just friends. This book had me feeling every single emotion. I laughed, I cried, I did everything. I found myself attached to Chance and Jenny almost instantly, and it felt like I was one of them. The story was snappy and witty and incredibly believable. I just couldn't get enough of it. And when I finished it, I was so sad. This is by far my favorite romance of all time. It's engraved in my heart. I love it, I love it, I love it. Alright guys, so this was my top 5 favorite books, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what is your top 5. Be sure to subscribe, and yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!